Good morning, guys. What's going on? This is another episode here in Nolan's Pod. I promised you guys Monday that I was going to give you another podcast, NFL on the quarterbacks, and I'm here to deliver on that. So I'm just going to give you five quarterbacks who I think is under the most pressure going into this year. Now we're going to start backwards at five. Probably 3 through 5, I could have put one on them in 3. I could have put one on them in 4. I could have put one on them in 5. I kind of went back and forth through 3 through 5. 1 and 2, I didn't have any problems with it. That person was 1, and the other person was definitely 2. So we're going to start backwards at 5. Quarterbacks under the most pressure, starting at 5. I say Russell Wilson and Justin Fields with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The reason why I say that is because Russell Wilson has been on decline the last 2 to 3 years. He's trying to resurrect his career. He's only getting paid $1.2 million on the veteran minimum contract. So he is not the Russell Wilson old. He's trying to resurrect the end of his career. Mike Tomlin has not named a starter yet, but we all think that it's going to be Russell Wilson just based on what we've seen off that game against the Detroit Lions. Russell Wilson led them to a drive. They scored. So we think just off that alone, it's going to be Russell Wilson. Don't be surprised if we see Justin Fields get in there and Russell Wilson gets off to a cold start. The other thing with Justin Fields is, too, even though he's young, way younger than Russell Wilson, it wasn't all flowers and roses for him in Chicago with the Bears. He was one of their number one overall pick. It didn't work out. And now he's with another team. So it wasn't all flowers and roses for Justin Fields either. They drafted another quarterback over him, and they got him up out of there. So he's young, but he's trying to resurrect his career. I think that Justin Fields is gonna go on to have a great career. You know what I'm saying? It just didn't work out in Chicago. And truth be told, Chicago is not a place, the Bears organization, it's not a place where you want to be because they're not exactly known for winning anyway. It's different with Russell Wilson because he comes from Seattle, which they always won. Now, Denver, the last few years, Denver has not been a place that's going to win. So you really can't put that on Russ, even though he didn't look great in Denver. So both of these two quarterbacks are my number 5, Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. And obviously, we wouldn't even have the conversations that we have about Russell Wilson right now, today. We wouldn't have the conversations that we have about Russell Wilson if they would just run the ball in the end zone in the Super Bowl against New England. If they just run the ball in the end zone at the 1-yard line, they just run the ball in the end zone with beast mode, Marshawn Lynch, Russell Wilson would have 2 Super Bowls. 2, not 1. He would have 2 Super Bowls, and he would automatically be certified Hall of Famer. Certified, most definitely. We wouldn't even have to have this conversation about the end of his career, him struggling, him trying to resurrect himself. If they just run the ball with beast mode and not try to make Russell Wilson the hero, we wouldn't even have to be having this conversation. That's what I get mad about. You try to make the quarterback the hero, and you got beast mode in the backfield right there. Just run the ball. 9 years later, and it still gets me. The weapons that Pittsburgh has, they have Najee Harris, Cordell Patterson, Jalen Warren, Van Jefferson, Scotty Miller, Roman Wilson, Pat Freiermuth, George Pickens. That's their offensive side of the ball. Historically, we know that Pittsburgh's always good defensively. They have Cam Hayward, Alex Highsmith. They got Patrick Queen from Seattle, Joey Porter Jr., Mika Fitzpatrick, DeMonte Kazi, and TJ Watt. Of course, you can't forget TJ Watt. So they have the weapons both offensively and defensively. That's why I think that Russell Wilson and Justin Fields is under the most pressure. That's my number 5. My number 4, I will give you Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, MVP last year. He won it in 2019 also, so he's 2-time MVP. he was at home during the AFC Championship game against the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. They only scored 10 points. Lamar didn't play well. He was trying to do his best Patrick Mahomes impression in front of Patrick Mahomes and throw the ball and keep throwing the ball. That wasn't working, you know. Don't go away from what your game plan is. Y'all are a great run team. Keep on running that ball. That's what y'all did all season. Keep on running that ball. Don't fall in love with the pass play. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened in the AFC Championship game. And you have to give credit to the Baltimore Ravens defense. It's not even the defense's fault. They held Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs to a reasonable number. They only scored, 17 points in the AFC Championship game? 17? And you telling me that the offense, Lamar, y'all were great offensively with Todd Monken all year, and y'all only scored 10 points in the AFC Championship game? Like, y'all just went away from y'all game plan. And then Lamar, if you don't start getting it done, we're going to be looking like, he was a great regular season quarterback, but in the playoffs, he just never got it done. They already starting to say that now, that he's just a great regular season quarterback, and in the playoffs, he just forgets how to play football, it seems like. I think his career playoff record is 2-4 or 2-5, something like that. So, Lamar, the pressure's on you. You a 2-time MVP. Y'all are stacked, especially defensively. And just like Pittsburgh, historically, y'all have always had a great defense, even before Lamar was even thought of. Y'all have always had a great defense. So, Lamar, when the playoffs start, you can't forget that you, Lamar Jackson, you can't get out of your game plan. You can't get out of your element. The pressure is on you to win. You obviously gonna have to more than likely go through the Chiefs in the playoffs and knock off Patrick Mahomes. But to do that, you cannot try to have the Chiefs game plan by throwing the ball. You have to play y'all game, and y'all got to run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have the weapons. Y'all got Derrick Henry. So this offseason, it's no way in hell that y'all should not be running the ball come playoff time. We know what y'all gonna do in the regular season. It come playoff time. Lamar, you got to show up. You got to show up. You got to show up. I already know what you gonna give me in the regular season. We all know. But in the playoffs, you got to show up. The weapons that they have: Derrick Henry, as I mentioned, Nelson Aguilar, Rashad Bateman, Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews. That's who they have offensively. They don't have OBJ no more. He's going to Miami. Defensively, you got Roquan Smith, Kyle Van Noy, Marlon Humphrey, Kyle Hamilton. They don't have Patrick Queen because he's at Pittsburgh. And I made a mistake on that. Patrick Queen played for Baltimore last year, not Seattle. So my bad on that. That's my number 4, Lamar Jackson. My number 3 is Deshaun Watson. We all know, it's no secret to what Deshaun Watson went through the past couple of years. And then after he tries to get back from that, he's coming back from a major injury, you know what I'm saying? So, and coming off of surgery. So, we're not asking Deshaun Watson to be Superman. We're not asking Deshaun Watson to play like he did when he was with the Houston Texans. All we're asking of Deshaun Watson, or all I'm asking for, I should say, because some people's expectations for Deshaun Watson is totally different from mine. All I'm asking Deshaun Watson is just be okay. You don't have to give us the whole Deshaun Watson. Just be okay. Just play the position okay. Just play the position okay. You don't have to be a superhero. You don't have to try to go out and win an MVP. You have the talent around you. Just be okay. Just play okay. Don't turn the ball over. Lead your team down the field. Lead them on some drives. When it comes down to it, y'all need a field goal. Lead the team down the field so y'all can get in field goal position. You don't have to go for the home run play. You don't have to play like you Superman. Even though we all know that you're still capable of that. You don't have to beat a Deshaun Watson. Y'all have the roster all you have to do is just be okay, Deshaun Watson. That's it. But the pressure is on you because you got what, like a 10-year contract, 9-year contract, over $230 million. The pressure is on you to deliver already. It's no question about that. Because if you don't, they're gonna be on you like hell for the things that you was doing off the field allegedly. You know, the fans are not seeing eye to eye on that. So if you don't produce on the field, you always gonna be known as those allegations off the field, and obviously that ain't good. And you lucky that they paying you all the money, cause if not, boy, ooh-wee. So, and you have the weapons. Nick Chubb, which Nick Chubb's gonna be on the PUP list. He's gonna miss the first 4 games because he's still trying to come back from the knee injury. But you have Jerome Ford and Naheem Hines as 2 other running backs. You have Amari Cooper. You have Jerry Jeudy. You have Elijah Moore. You have David Bell. You have David Njoku. Offensively, you have the weapons offensively. Zadarius Smith, Greg Newsome, Denzel Ward, Myles Garrett defensively. Myles Garrett. It starts and ends with Myles Garrett. Your defense is great. That's what I'm saying. You have a great defense. You don't have to be a superhero. You really don't. Just play clean football. Just give us a glimpse of the Deshaun Watson. But you don't have to do it all by yourself and be a superhero. Just be Deshaun Watson. Just be Deshaun Watson. Just give us something. Just give us something of old Deshaun Watson. Just play clean football. No superhero stuff. That's my number 3. My number 2 is Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts. The pressure is on Jalen Hurts. No, you did not have a good season last year. Y'all started really great, and then in the end, y'all tailed off. Y'all were bad defensively, and y'all were predictable offensively. Everybody in their right mind knew what y'all were going to run offensively before y'all even ran it. You had first-year offensive coordinator Brian Johnson. And then you had a first-year defensive coordinator. Even my dad's friend was telling me, on Friday, he was telling me, which I already know this anyway, but he was just saying to me, like, you can't have 2 first-year coordinators. That's not gonna work. And I'm like, yeah, you do make a point. Like, I was telling him, like, yeah, you actually are right. That's not gonna work. 2 first-year coordinators who don't really know what they're doing, that's not gonna work. So bringing in Kellen Moore, offensive coordinator, who has the experience. We know what he did with the Dallas Cowboys. And then he went to the Chargers, which was unfair to him because, it's the Chargers. They ain't going to give you nothing anyway, especially offensively, especially because Justin Herbert's so overrated. But Kellen Moore, he has experience. And then you go get Vic Fangio, defensive coordinator, who has all the experiences in the world. He's in his 60s and his 70s, so he's been around the game of football. That's the experience you need from your coordinators, not having 2 first-year coordinators. They have the experience for the coordinators, and it better work. Jalen Hurts, the pressure is on you because you have the weapons. Y'all went out and y'all got Saquon Barkley. Jalen Hurts, you don't even have to run. You don't even have to rush. Saquon Barkley, all you got to do is just hand the ball up to Saquon. He got it, bro. He got it. You don't even have to run, bro. Jalen, you don't even have to run, bro. You don't have to run. You got A.J. Brown. Y'all just got Jahan Dotson last week. You got Devontae Smith. You got Dallas Goedert. Y'all defense was not great last year. It was not great. But with Vic Fangio, y'all can do some things. You have Brandon Graham. You have Jalen Carter and Nakobe Dean out of Georgia. You have Jordan Davis. You have Darius Slay. You have C.J. Gardner-Johnson. You have what it takes, especially offensively. You have a good defense. Y'all can't get no worse defensively than what y'all were last year. Vic Fangio's running that defense. Y'all should be okay. All the defense has to do is just be okay. We ain't asking the defense to go out there and be great. Just be okay. Because you got offensive talent around you and Jalen Hurts. That's all y'all got to do is just be okay, especially defensively. But offensively, Jalen Hurts, you're number 2. The pressure is on you. You have Kellen Moore, who's a good offensive coordinator. All you got to do is just make it. All y'all two got to do, you and Kellen Moore, all y'all got to do is just make it work. You got Saquon. You got A.J. Brown. You got Devontae Smith. You got Dallas Goedert. And you just acquired Jahan Dotson. I don't see how y'all struggle. It's no excuse that y'all should struggle at all through any period of time this year. Y'all should not struggle. I understand you're going to lose a game or two. You might have a 2-game losing streak. But you shouldn't have more than a 2-game losing streak. If you got a 3-game losing streak this year, that's god awful. That should not happen. A 2-game losing streak, okay. That's all fine and dandy. More than a 2-game losing streak, that should not happen. With the weapons that y'all have, especially offensively. The pressure is also on the head coach, Nick Sirianni. He was lucky that his job was safe last year after the season. It was some debate to whether he was fired or not because of how the way they finished in that playoff loss against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. His job was in question. He's has a lot of pressure, Nick Sirianni, as a head coach, if they don't get it done this year or get close to getting it done this year. That's my number 2, Jalen Hurts. That leads me to my number 1, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is my number 1. He only played 4 offensive snaps last year. Went down in that heartbreaking torn Achilles. He's coming back this year. They don't even need Aaron Rodgers to be the Aaron Rodgers of old. They don't even need Aaron Rodgers to be the 2-time back-to-back MVP that he was with the Green Bay Packers in 2020 and 2021 during the COVID years that he won back-to-back MVPs. They just need Aaron Rodgers to be okay. They don't need old Aaron Rodgers. They just need Aaron Rodgers to be okay because they have the weapons. Breece Hall, Xavier Gibson, Allen Lazard, Mike Williams, Garrett Wilson. Allen Lazard played with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. And then you get Mike Williams from San Diego. You got Garrett Wilson, who's a stud. Obviously, we know that. You got Breece Hall in the backfield running that thing. You know what I'm saying? We don't even need the Aaron Rodgers. Oh, just be Aaron Rodgers and just play okay. You don't even have to play at a high level. All we asking Double A-Rod to do is just play okay. Just play okay. Just play okay. You don't have to give us the Aaron Rodgers of 40 touchdowns a season like you was giving us. Just be okay. Just be okay. They start off with the San Francisco 49ers on Monday Night Football. If they go into San Francisco and beat San Francisco, then you already gonna have the media and the people talking. But just be okay. You have the weapons. Defensively also, you have Michael Clemens. You have McKinley. You have Quentin Williams. You have Jermaine Johnson. You got C.J. Mosley. You got D.J. Reed. You got Sauce Gardner. You got Hassan Reddick, who they still need to get signed to a contract. Get Hassan Reddick in the building. You traded for Hassan Reddick this offseason. Y'all thought because he said that he didn't want a new contract in the introductory press conference that y'all thought that him saying that in the introductory press conference, y'all believe what he said. Y'all know that man want a new contract. Come on, what's wrong with y'all? Anyway, get Hassan Reddick in the building. Get him in the building. Y'all traded for him for what? For no reason. He don't even want to play for y'all because y'all won't give him a contract. Get him in the building. But all we asking Aaron Rodgers to do is just play okay. You don't even have to play great. You don't even have to give us the Aaron Rodgers of old. But the pressure is on you because they gave up so much to get you. That's the thing. They gave up so much to get you. And then on the flip side of that, Jordan Love is looking pretty doggone good right about now replacing you. So you know what I'm saying? You need to come through. You need to come through. Just play okay. You don't got to be the Aaron Rodgers of old. That's my top 5 quarterbacks that are under the most pressure this year. At 1, Aaron Rodgers. At 2, Jalen Hurts. At 3, Deshaun Watson. At 4, Lamar Jackson. At 5, Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. With that being said, that's all I have for you guys today. Let me know what you think about my top 5 quarterbacks. And are they under the most pressure? And if so, should I have flip-flop one of them? Or should I have flip-flop 2 or 3 of them? Just let me know in the comments. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe like I just said. And I will catch you guys later.